bookworms, I'm Becca, and today I'm going to be talking about some of the books I've read recently, as well as picking 2 new books from my TBR jar. I realized that I have not done a wrap-up video since March, and as much as I want to tell myself that I've been in a slump for the past 3 months, I've read a total of 10 books, which is not that bad. So I pulled all the books off my shelf, and it's actually going to go from June all the way back to April, unfortunately, because that's how I pulled them off my shelf. I just wasn't thinking. So let's get started with the books I've read most recently and work back to April, I guess. Alright. The first book that I actually just finished yesterday is Ivy Aberdeen's Letters to the World by Ashley Herring Blake. This is a middle grade book about a girl named Ivy Aberdeen who loves drawing and fills her notebooks with tons of drawings, but she has a secret that some of her pictures depict 2 girls holding hands. And after a tornado displaces her and her family, Ivy's notebook goes missing with all of her pictures, which then mysteriously start turning up in her locker with notes urging her to talk to someone about her identity. This book was so sweet and so important. There were parts that gave me chills. I laughed, I cried. I definitely plan on doing a dedicated review for this book, but I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I think that middle grade LGBT books are so important, and all I could picture was other girls picking this book up when they're, 11, 12, 13 years old, and how much this book could change their lives. I love it. I love it. I love Ashley Herring Blake so much. This book is so good, you guys. If you've not read it, do yourself a favor and pick this one up. I've also read I Wish You All the Best by Mason Deaver. This is a debut novel about a teenager named Ben who identifies as non-binary, and when they come out to their parents, they are immediately kicked out of the house and end up living with their estranged sister. And so basically they just have to navigate a new school towards the end of their senior year, navigating family stuff, going to therapy, and kind of figuring out who they are. This was really good. I love books with non-binary main characters. This is only the second one that I've read, and I definitely will be seeking out more books with trans or non-binary gender fluid main characters because that perspective is so unique. I Wish You All the Best is also an Own Voices novel because Mason identifies as non-binary. It's just so good. Just so much good in this book. I loved it. I gave I Wish You All the Best by Mason Deaver 4 out of 5 stars. Then I read The Love and Lies of Roxana Ali by Sabina Khan. This is about a teenage girl named Roxana who is on track to go to Caltech and study physics. She's been keeping her girlfriend a secret from her conservative Muslim family, and when her family discovers the 2 of them together, they ship Roxana off to Bangladesh to stay with family and learn about her heritage. It gets crazy, y'all. This book was so insane, but I really enjoyed learning about the Muslim heritage and Bangladesh culture. It was really interesting to me. I gave The Love and Lies of Roxana Ali 4 out of 5 stars. I also recently read Check Please. This is about a boy named Biddy who is a freshman in college, and he is trying out for the college hockey team, and it kind of chronicles like the first 2 years, I think, of his college experience being on the hockey team, developing crushes, baking. It is so stinking cute, and Biddy is a vlogger, so it's kind of told through his vlogs, and I just think that that is so interesting and unique. I absolutely love this. I have been getting more into hockey lately. This was so stinking cute, and when I finished it, I needed more right away, but it's a webcomic, and I just didn't want to read it online, so I've been dying for the second bind-up to come out, and Alex just told me that it is getting released, or it was announced or something. I don't know, but I'm happy. I cannot wait for the second one to come out. So obviously, as much as I'm raving about this book, I gave Check Please 5 out of 5 stars. Alright, the next book I had to take down from my shelves. Obviously, it's on my favorite books shelf, and I had to take it down, so now they're all falling all over the place, but it is How to Make Friends with the Dark by Kathleen Glasgow. No surprise there. It's tabbed to high heavens. I tabbed everything in this book. I'm obsessed with this book. It ruined me and it put me back together again. Kathleen Glasgow is one of the most phenomenal authors that I have ever read in my entire life. She's amazing, and in her sophomore novel we follow a girl named Tiger Tolliver who loses her mom suddenly, and it has just been Tiger and her mom her entire life. Her mom was a single parent, and now Tiger has to navigate going on without this person in her life, and it is just a really deep look into the grieving process, which hit me really hard. Other things that I just didn't even think about, because all I knew from the synopsis was that she is, you know, grieving the loss of her mother, but since she's a teenager and she didn't have any other family, she now has to navigate the foster care system, and just everyone that she meets, she finds out people's different stories. It is really, really moving. It is heavy. It is extremely heavy. I sobbed through the entire book, just complete ugly cried. I wanted to vlog my experience reading it, but I was a mess, y'all. I could not function. It sent me into a slump. I am still dealing with it. If this is what being triggered by a book feels like, I was super triggered by this book, but I loved every minute of it because, you know, I am just a masochist and love putting myself in those situations. 5 out of 5 stars. 10 out of 5 stars. This book is everything. I really love this book a lot. It means a lot to me. Okay, that's it. Right back here. Right where you belong. Tap, tap. I finished up one of my favorite series of all time, and I just don't know how I feel about it. The Merciless by Daniel Vega. I read book 4. The last book, you guys. I can't believe that it's done and over with. I don't want it ever to be over with, but I don't even know if I can give a synopsis of this book. It was so freaking wild. I feel like every book kind of followed the same plot, but I loved it all the same. And so in this last book, I can't even really talk about it, but it takes place in Italy, and there's a lot of really dark, twisted things that go on. I'm not sure if it really like wrapped up the series or wrapped up the story that well. I don't know. I think that Daniel Vega has a hard time with endings, in my opinion, but the course of the book was an absolute freaking roller coaster. I adored it. This is my favorite series of all time, so I think that I probably gave it 4 stars, because I think that even though I rave about these books all the time, I think that I still give them 4 stars. Yep. I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars, but, you know, I mean, it's always going to have a special place in my heart. I love the story. I love the characters. It is the first YA horror series that I've ever read. The only YA horror series that I've ever read. Daniel Vega does a phenomenal job with it, and it is so dark and twisted. So if you're looking for a good YA horror series, I will forever and always recommend The Merciless by Daniel Vega. Okay, I jumped a little outside my comfort zone with this one, A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Brigid Kemmerer, and I was shook, y'all. This is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. The main character, Harper, has cerebral palsy, which is really interesting, and I like that it was kind of like an urban fantasy. I want to say it's an urban fantasy because Harper is taken from like present day Washington DC and brought into this fantasy land. So she is still like a normal everyday modern person, but she's in this fantasy like parallel universe almost, and it's really good. It's really good. I liked it a lot better than A Court of Thorns and Roses, if that says anything. I mean, I didn't really love those books anyway, but I'm a sucker for a good retelling, and A Curse So Dark and Lonely gave me everything that I needed, and I actually am really, really excited to carry on with the rest of the series. I think the second book is coming out this year or next year. I'm not sure, because I feel like this one just came out, but we'll see. I just don't know. I love this book. I wanted to get everything that Brigid Kemmerer has written, because apparently she just like crosses genres with every freaking book, because right now I'm reading Letters to the Lost, and that's a YA contemporary. So Brigid Kemmerer, who are you? How do you do this? You're amazing. Teach Me Your Ways. In April, I think, I read The Summer of Jordi Perez by Amy Spalding. This was the Rainbow Reads book club pick for that month, and I do have a dedicated review. It was okay. It's about a girl named Abby who is like a plus size blogger, and she gets a job at a little boutique for the summer, and then she falls for her coworker. It's okay. I mean, the romance is kind of cute. There's a subplot of her working with one of her guy friends to find the best burger in Los Angeles, but that like subplot is kind of non-existent, even though it's on the cover of the book, The Summer of Jordi Perez and the best burger in Los Angeles. So that was a bit of a disappointment. Overall, I don't know. It was okay. I didn't love it. If you like fashion, you might like it a little bit more than I did, but I wanted more burgers. Alright, we're nearing the end. I have two more, and they're both graphic novels. The first one is Bloom by Kevin Panetta, and this was one of my most anticipated graphic novels for the entire year, one of my most anticipated books of the entire year, and it was a flop for me. I just did not connect with the characters at all. It sent me into a bit of a slump. I felt like I went through a series of mediocre books that left me like not wanting to read, not wanting to film, because who wants to sit and talk about a mediocre book? Not me, obviously, because I've been gone for a couple months. But I mean, the premise was cute, and some of the parts where they were baking was really cute. It's basically about a boy named Ari whose family runs a bakery, but he wants to move into the city and pursue music. So to fill his spot, his parents hire a guy named Hector, and the two of them fall in love, and I mean, it's super cute. The parts where they're like baking together is really adorable, but like I said, I just really couldn't connect with the characters. The story fell kind of flat to me, unfortunately, so I think I gave it 2 out of 5 stars. Let me check. Well, on Goodreads, I didn't even give it a rating, so I don't know. I think I would give it 2 out of 5 stars because that's what came to my mind. And the last book I'm talking about, we made it, y'all, is Be Prepared by Vera Brosgol. This is like a graphic memoir kind of about Vera's experience going to a Russian camp growing up. She always wanted to go to summer camp, and there's like this Russian Orthodox camp put on by her church that she thought would be like fun, like a summer camp, but it's really not. And so it was just a really funny experience, and I love a good summer camp book. I went to sleepaway camp for a couple years. It was fine arts camp, so again, like not your typical summer camp. It was a more like structured camp, obviously. So, and I went when like I was a little bit older, and I was so homesick, so I related to this story a lot. The art is like so pretty. Everything is in shades of green. The story was stinking cute, and I don't know, I loved it. I thought it was really good. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. So there you guys go. Those are the 10 books that I have read over the past couple months. I'm also finishing up Caraval, which my mind is so heckin' blown on that book, you guys. Why did nobody tell me about this book earlier? Because I was just gonna write it off. I wasn't even gonna do it, and then I got it on Audible, and I'm obsessed. Like, I want to buy the whole trilogy in hardcover and just like read it. Like, I want to read it again, and I'm not even done with the audiobook yet. I have half an hour left, and I'm like, I need to finish it. Also, I'm finishing up Running with Lions by Julian Winters. I'll probably be done with it by the time I upload this on Wednesday, and yeah. So I'm excited. So let's do my 2 TBR jar picks and wrap this sucker up. So I'm doing these for July. My recent reads and July TBR picks. Let's pick the first one. I know there's like 2, let's put it right there. I know there's 2 readathons in July. There's the very last biannual Bibliothon, which I probably will do, and then the Reading Rush, which is Booktubeathon. So let's see, maybe these can go with it. This is, In Search of Us. Alright, the first one is In Search of Us by Ava Delara. And this is about a girl named Marilyn. This is about a girl named Angie who is like trying to find out about her childhood because she's biracial and her mother took off, I think. So it's told through 2 perspectives. Marilyn's, which is her mother's, in the late 1990s, and then Angie in present day. So, a nice little family book. I'm sure this will be able to fit in nicely with one of the readathons, maybe, hopefully. Alright, let's reach in and pick another one out of here. Got it! I guess I didn't shake it that much. Ooh, interesting. So I picked out Olivia Twist by Lori Langdon, and this is like an Oliver Twist retelling, but gender bent. And I guess from just peeking at the inside flip, it's about Olivia, who is actually raised as a boy. So this should be really interesting. All of these books. See, this is why I do TBR jars, because I never would have just been like, I want to read this book this month, but I'm going to give it a try and we'll see how it goes. So there you guys go. That's it. That's it for this video. I'm back after like a month-long hiatus. Really. It seems like a couple months because I just did one video last month. So there's that. So I'm happy to be back. I feel refreshed and ready to read. I've been reading a lot lately, obviously, and I can't wait to take you guys along for this journey. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!